Hi everyone, Warangel here, and welcome back to the Vortex campaign where we are playing as Clan Pestilens. Now, in the campaign recently, we've had to shift directions a little bit, thanks to Lockyer Felhart, our former ally, deciding to fight us instead. And if anybody is going to betray anybody in this campaign, it's going to be us, as the Skaven. So, we're going to show him the error of his ways by taking all of his territory down at the southern-east tip of Lustria. But before we do that though, we have to make a slight detour with Baboat and Mormel, as you will remember that Malus Darkblade took the Altar of the Horned Rat in the last episode, and I want to take it back. So, if you remember the army as well, he's got a lot of monsters we're going to be facing, and some of these I've not fought yet in Warhammer 2. So, Bloodwrack Medusas, I've fought them before, and the Charybdis, I've not fought either. So those are going to be fun. But, Malus has got a monster army, so do we, in the form of Mormel. And of course, I don't click on Mormel because the game doesn't recognize it. There we go, much better. So, we're going to take our monster army of Clan Mulder and Clan Scry to attack the altar. And since he happens to be nearby, we're going to bring Baboat in as reinforcements. So, let's lay siege first of all and have a look. The garrison is very tiny, so I'm not worried about that in the slightest. The monsters are pretty much back up to full strength. Unfortunate, but what can you do? We don't need to build siege equipment. Not because of our artillery, but because if we hover over here, 5 breaches. Well, that'd be more than enough for us to make our way in. And I imagine the wall's going to be damaged enough that we could always send the artillery in as well, if needed. But I'd rather focus the warp lightning cannons and that on units like the Black Dragons instead. So, let's leave you there a minute. Let's grab Baboat. Alright, let's make sure you're not in the underway. To be honest, I don't know. Does having a unit in the underway allow them to be a reinforcement for another army? I don't know, I'll have to check it up sometime. But for the moment, you can just make your way over here. And let's have a look now. Wow. Despite having a second army, which is quite experienced, that hasn't really done anything for the balance bar, that I can tell. Huh. Well, we're going to fight it anyway. So let's get some uses of the menace below. I'll go for 6, because why not? And, yeah, let's see how the battle goes. Well then guys, here we are on the battlefield, where you'll see in this battle me doing something that I rarely do in battles on the channel, and that is actually be precise and methodical in my tactics. So, what you're seeing first of all is my artillery firing away at the enemy's Soul Tower, which has suffered some damage already. So, by the time I focus all of my artillery onto them, we'll be able to remove the tower completely and pretty much be able to march unopposed, since the enemy, as far as I can tell, can't make it up onto these sections of the wall. So while the artillery are firing away, my reinforcements are coming in from behind the line. I had to actually remember to pull them back, because the way the AI does things with the reinforcements is as soon as they make their way onto the battlefield, they will just charge straight into a pretty forward position. And to be honest with you, I didn't want them getting that close. So I pulled everyone back and started making them to go over to my right flank, apart from the Avalanche Mortars and our Mormel Special Delivery Team, which started firing away, as you can see, and all the enemy infantry up on top of the gate. Now that we've destroyed the tower just now as well, it means we can do this unopposed. So they're going to have a fun time just slaughtering every single enemy unit on the top there. So we're going to do things nice and slow, like I said, focusing first of all up here, and then we're going to start going after the rest of the enemy infantry, bit by bit. So it's going to take a little bit of time, and this battle in total took about 20 minutes. So I'm not going to be showing all of it for obvious reasons, but just to showcase more of the highlights at this point. So already, thanks to the damage we've done with our mortars, as well as me using our special ability, I managed to wipe out practically the entire enemy unit on top of here, apart from the assassin mainly, who I didn't actually see until we got much closer to the, well, gates. And I just noticed apparently assassins are good against gates. Huh, never realized that. But anyway, now that we've dealt with these guys, I'm moving the mortar team just a bit closer, because I was tempted to go for the units behind the gates, as you can tell from the initial volley. But what I ended up going to be doing instead shortly is finishing off this unit here, and then we're going to go after the Cold One Knights, because, well, I'm able to kill those off pretty easily, and I realised then how devastating those units are, because even though if I hover over, you can see they are damage dealers in good range. These ones are anti-infantry, but there's still going to be more than enough damage when it comes to fighting... Oh, hello. Why are you firing this far back? I could have swore I told them to fire much closer. Oh, there we go. That's better. That's better. So now they're firing on top of the Cold One Knights, and you can just watch their health. It's fall away like nothing. You know, it's just... Despite their high armor, despite everything else, they've just lost half of their health in their initial volley. And now with more poisoned wind globes not coming down, it's not going to be a good day for these guys. They're going to start retreating fairly quickly. Now you can already see in the back though, I'm starting to bring my army a bit closer. Because we've got rid of all the enemy towers, we don't have to worry about them firing upon us. And really I'm just taking the opportunity to whittle them down a bit. What I was hoping to try and do is maybe even get our warp lightning cannons close enough to try and fire at the black dragons back here. Or even if we can't reach that far because of obviously the gates in the way, that we might be able to fire at something like the War Hydra over here, and as well as the Medusa. But that's going to be happening in a little bit, because for the moment I'm still going to be focusing on, first of all, dealing with the enemy infantry around here, and then move them closer to actually go after the Cold One Knights back here. Fire, my pretties! Fire! Oh, I do love these guys. Just watching the animations and the attention to detail that Creative Assembly have done with stuff like watching the occasional guy drop the ball and a globe, and be like, oh my god, is it broken? No, it's fine. Just things like that was really, really cool to see. But you may notice some energy being blasted out and one of my teams actually being killed. Reason being is because just unfortunately we got into range of a Bloodwrack Medusa firing away. So we were taking some damage, but that's okay. At this point though, I'm pretty happy with what we've done. We have the two teams. Still getting shot at, I noticed. But so what I've done is got these guys to start retreating off the battlefield because we no longer need their services. They're coming very low now with their ammunition as well, so I figured why not. But to showcase what they've done, right? They've killed all of these Cold One Riders. They've devastated all the infantry and that over here, as well as damage a couple of the Carabitas units. But they've also slaughtered a lot of Cold Ones back here. They did a fantastic job. I was really impressed with them. Definitely want to get more of them in future armies. For now though, they've done their job, and we're sending in next Vatican shooters and Nati Babo sharpshooters. I thought, because of their good range and their damage, I thought there would be a good opportunity for them to be going after the Bloodwrack Medusa and the War Hydra, just to reduce them while we can stay safely out of range. And so that's what they're going to be doing for a little while. We're going to see them firing away at the Bloodwrack, which is slowly taking damage. Not as quickly as I saw with the Poison Ring Globadeers and that. Sorry, Mortars. But, yeah, it's not a good day for her. Just standing there getting shot up at all of these warpstone bullets. But anyway, she's soon going to die. And then we'll be going after the War Hydra as well. Unfortunately, none of the other units got into range, or they were hiding behind the walls like these guys. So, yeah, they won't be sticking around for too long, but already we're seeing the Bloodwrack Medusa about to die. Looks like she's bravely now going to try and march forward and trying to get some shots in. But, yeah, she's dead. Goodbye. So, they're going to now focus on the War Hydra. And once they've dealt with that, we'll start being able to actually march in and attack with our army. Now, I don't know if you guys know, but it's been a while since I've played as the Dark Elves or against the Dark Elves. And I had no idea that Hydras have actually got rattles on the end of their tail, like a rattlesnake. That was pretty cool to see. But eventually, we managed to kill it. It took a little while because it did one off for one point and then recovered its leadership, came back, and because it regenerates, it ended up getting some health back. But on the whole, we managed to kill it off, and as you can see now, we're starting our attack. So Bubblewat is charged straight in. I was planning to actually try and kill off these guys quickly, like you saw, using his ability, and then figured he should be able to take on one of these Carbiduses in combat. Now, admittedly, normally it would be an uneven fight, because these guys are anti-large, and, well, Bubblewat isn't. Oh no, actually, he is. Oh wait. Why did I not think Bubblewat was anti-large? Oh, anyway. He's come in to attack, they're fighting one another, but it's going to lose because ultimately he is, well, the Cabadus had less health, and you can see already we're also bringing in some more reinforcements slowly but surely. We've got a unit of Clan Septic Spears running in to try and help. I say trying because it's losing pretty badly. But over on this side, we've got the Septic Guard, our Storm Vermin, coming in to go after this particular Cabadus. Now, between that and the Septic Spears that have also come in to help, it was going to be a pretty easy fight for them. But one thing I forgot about was the Medusa. Now, as you can see, I summoned in some Clan Rats in order to try and just keep it busy. But it is anti-infantry, and so you can see I just slaughtering the Clan Rats, unsurprisingly. So because of that, it ended up getting these guys to run away. And it meant that it can just focus on its missile damage against my Septic Guard, causing a few more casualties than I would have liked, but it's just one of those things. And in fact, we get the notification that those Clan Rats are starting to run away. So, yeah, now it's just unopposed to actually fire into my Storm Vermin. Well, I say that, it's actually obstructed right now. I'm sure it'll move in just a minute. Maybe I'll have to have a look to see how they've done this model. Like, I don't know if I've mentioned about it, but I have started collecting a Age of Sigmar army for the tabletop, where I'm playing, I'm collecting the Daughters of Cain, so my army does have a lot of Medusas in it. I'm focusing more on those guys than your standard Witch Elves, just because of the cost of them. 30 quid, right, with discounts, I will point out, for a unit of 10 Witch Elves. It's ridiculous, it really is. I keep looking on eBay to try and find cheaper ones, but for the moment I'm just focusing on lots of Medusa and Kinnerai. I've got some Doomfire Warlocks as well, so that's going to be useful. But anyway, back to the battle. You can see now at this point we've managed to capture the gatehouse, so we're bringing in more spears from Clan Septic, as well as bringing over here other bits and pieces. We've got some Bleak Swords trying to hold valiantly against my other unit of Septic Guard. It's not going to go too well for those. I brought in Ratikin Shooters and Natty Bubos because I was hoping to actually go after the Black Dragons, but it didn't quite work out according to plan. You can see they're already starting to fire at this unit, Medusa, but noticing in that this other Cabadus and that's coming in, I decided to focus the shots on that instead. Of course it's a Shatter, which is fine by me, and I think we do kill it off with the last bit of ammunition we had. But because we focused attentions on that, I'm going to have to change my target from the Black Dragons. We decided instead to go after Bubblewat. Now at this point it was because I sent him after the Medusa, figuring that the others might stay in place, and obviously that didn't happen. So he's now going to be kind of stuck where he is. He's going to be fighting multiple dragons and things like that. Not a good day. Now while that's going on, I want to have a look up here quickly, because slowing things down so you guys can see better. We noticed earlier on in the battle that the enemy had this assassin. I didn't realize during the battle until my units got closer, but I did see that according to the little tooltip that pops up, Adlok Ishani, who's right here, should have been able to take him on fairly easily, and so I allowed him to run in and go after it. I didn't expect a Feral Manticore to come flying over and join in the battle, otherwise we would have probably won that fight. So I'm trying to get Adlok Ishani away from the fight at this point, getting him down to the ground, so if they try to continue the fight, we'll have plenty of spear rats to try and deal with it. But I didn't notice until later on, because I thought he died. But luckily then it was just a matter he shatters eventually, and makes it off the battlefield with just a little bit of health. But he survives, which is the main thing. Now, if I speed things up again, you can see over here, I sent the Terror below to go after the surviving units of Cold One Knights, forgetting completely that Malice Darkblade is going to be somewhere around here. And so I thought, oh no, I'm not going to lose it to Malice. So what I did is summon in some clan rats just to hold the enemy units in position, and then I allowed the terror below to escape through the swarm of rats, while instead to make their way around here to go after the Bloodback Medusa in the distance, the one that has been actually cutting a swath through my units. You can see, looking down on the bottom left, he's got 104 casualties and counted. It's just because I've forgotten all about it while I've been focusing instead on this bigger mess right here. Although luckily for me now, we brought in the Thing, the Hellpit Abomination, whose lightning abilities and that is just doing a ton of damage, and I'm also using my magic. You can see we're using the upgraded version of River to reduce the enemy's armor down to 20, and with the Howling Gale that I was able to cast, it actually pinned him in place, so it couldn't get away. So yeah, that's managed to work out pretty nicely. We already got one Manticore Core running away. The Cobodis is still hanging on for dear life, but we are slowly making our way through. In fact, I think we might have killed one Dragoner by this point. I can't see both of them around. Oh no, hang on. No, that's the Feral Manticore, never mind me. Now at this point though, I figured, right, we've finished off the Scourge Runner Chariot that was over here. I'm bringing in my Plague Rats ready to deal with either Malice or to go after the last remaining chariots over there. But it was at this point where the enemy morale breaks, and the victory belongs to me. So, because this is a siege assault, we don't have to chase him down, we can just end things with a decisive victory, which was great news. A shame I didn't get a chance to use my warp lightning cannons against the dragons, although I just noticed we actually lost one of those. Interesting. But yeah, if those black dragons just stayed over here like I was expecting them to, we could have just shot them to death with our warp lightning cannons and our Giselles. But that didn't work out, did it? We still took a couple of casualties, but ultimately we won it. And yeah, we can head back to the battlefield now at this point. So, decisive victory. And I'm very happy to see, actually, if I hover down, that Alok Ishini managed to escape the fight. I actually wondered what happened to him and I thought he died, but luckily he didn't. Well done you. To be fair, he was trying to fight both a Knight Assassin and a Feral Manticore. So, yeah, I'm glad he made it out in one piece. Severely injured, and Mummy be lacking a piece, but he made it out, that's the main thing. But the most important thing was, though, we were able to take the Altar of the Horned Rat back with very few casualties. We should be able to get them back fairly quickly as well. So, let's go ahead and take that. Now I'm thinking we'll just go ahead, build it up to tier 3. I know it's going to cost us a bit in food, but I would like to get the defenses back up as well as be able to start, be in a position to upgrade it. So, if we go for that, give it a second. Perfect. And look at that replenishment. Jesus Christ. We're going to be back up to full strength by the following turn, no problems. Right, we also picked up a War Banner. Mormel does more armor-piercing weapon damage thanks to defeating Malice. Okay. Apart from the rest of that, fantastic. So, what to do next? Well, given that we're just going to have to let Bubble Rat's army replenish, but he doesn't have to be in the settlement, I'm going to get him to start marching down towards the Hissing God, because he'll be at full strength pretty much by the end of the next turn, and he'll be in a position to attack. You can be able to march out straight away, basically, but we'll give you a chance to rest up, and then we'll have you maybe go either by boat, or just use the underway to attack the Hissing God. Then we've got Trapalotto, the Southern Sentinels. We'll be able to just march down this way and slaughter everybody that gets in our way. And it serves Locke here right for betraying me like he did. But anyway, you guys are now moved. Skrolk is slowly making his way over to attack the Dust Gates, which if you remember we lost to some greenskin gits. So if we continue to use the underway, I don't know if we'll get there in the following turn or not, but at least we're a bit closer. Hey. What's next? Upskeef? I don't really know what to do with you, to be honest. I think what I'll get you to do is march up towards the cavern of the Malexigal, just so we can steal some technology and work on improving our research. So you can do that. And we did have Plague Rock. Here we are. Which one's going to be a better target for you? If we go after Guzzler here, 73%? Okay, never mind. That didn't work. I also got 9,000 tokens. I'm pretty tempted just to leave it for the most part, because as you can see, we're still running in a deficit. Let me have a look at the altar itself. Okay, we could repair the harbour. That'll help a little bit. The reason I took this back was because I wanted the warpstone deposits. We might as well do that. And I'll go ahead and get the defences. We could upgrade it. Tier 4, Grand Warren. It's tempting. But it's going to cost us a fair bit of tokens still, isn't it? We'll leave it for the moment. But then I have the money right now. And I might not have it by the next turn. Sure, we'll grab it now. We're not going to run into the red. So is there anything we can cancel? Or anything we can... Actually... Quetzal. Now you remember, we took this last episode, if I remember right, from Marcus Wolfhart. But the problem is with it is that now that we're having to turn back, it's very isolated with very few light defenses. I mean, it's got an alarm tunnel, admittedly. I might feel tempted to actually abandon it. It will generate 232 income. That'll give me 900. Let's see if we can demolish this first. If we can demolish that, then I'm quite happy to abandon it. And then, or if this army comes in and attacks it, then so be it. It'd be annoying, but what can you do? And the Emerald Pools, as useful as that would be, I'm going to go ahead and cancel it just for the extra money in the bank for now. And I think that should be everything. So what, down here, let's grab our hands on a rubbish pit. No, we need food as well, that's a concern. We'll get storage caves. Right. Let's quickly go for these. So, slice in. I think you finished all your magic. No, you've got one more here. There we go, now you're finished. Unlock Ishini. He's definitely a survivalist after that. 248 health. Wow, that was close. Alright, in that case, he's still a few levels away from immortality, so I'm just going to focus on his combat skills. Speed wasn't too useful, I think. Maybe going for... Now let's just finish off speed. It might come in handy. Mormel has now got 2 points. Let's go Agent Cunning. And... let's say... let's go to Looter for now. Because next time he levels up, he should be able to then get his hands on, whatchamacallit, Lightning Strike. So you could do that. Next, Garrett. Ooh, we can unlock either Wolf Rats with Poison or just standard Wolf Rats. Let's grab Poison, because we are Clan Pestilens after all. And we'll go ahead for Tenacity as well with you. Next, Ickbolt. Let's give you Blade Master and Thick-Skinned. Next, Obskeef. Actually, I think it could be a good idea for Mormel's army to swap out one of the characters, maybe Ickbolt, for a Warlock Engineer, just because we can be able to provide these bonuses. So like ammunition, extra reload time, triangulation for missile strength. That would be a much better option than trying to go for Ickbolt at the moment. I'll have to think about that. For now, though, let's go boost income, because it might come in handy. Then let's have a look-see. We'll go public order, growth. Let's just go exploitative planning, and then we can enter it. Ooh, this might be a close one. So we're just at the end of the end turn phase. We've got rebels coming in, and we do have some Dark Elf rebels coming to attack us at the caverns of the Great Bat. To be honest though, I still think we could probably auto-resolve this, because I'm going to risk it. Pyrrhic Victory. Ooh, that was close. But you know what? It's fine, it's just a garrison, who cares? Now I'm going to go ahead and get some extra food, just to help things out a bit more. And, yeah. Dust Gates. Okay, so we could reduce growth, public order, nah. Let's just carry on. City planner, raiding. I do need to see about finding something that's going to help with public order. In fact, what are we currently researching? Remind me, game. I'm honestly not sure. What are we researching at the moment? Hang on. Technology, would it tell me? Record effective recipes. +2 for plague priests. Alright, here. Right. Let's have a quick look then and see if there's anything we can get. Extra food. That could be useful. Weapon strength, practice goaders, exploit criminals, exotic martial arts. Come on, give me something for public order. Not that it's not really a big thing, it's just it will be useful because you have noticed we've been getting loads and loads of raiding happening to us at the moment, thanks to the different rebels spawning. So if we could find something that was going to help us with food, that would have been useful. But alas, I can't find anything. That's annoying. Well, I tell you what we can do instead. The plague priest will be useful, but it's not that big a deal. I'm thinking if we can go down... Which one of these was for food I just saw? Here, monstrous plans. We can get that with the pits of the Packmasters and we'll be able to move our way down towards this. So we'll grab that next. Alright, 11,000. Slowly gets in there with our money. Alright. Oh, we can attack the Hissing God this turn. You know what? Let's take the risk. With the exception of Alaku Shini, Babarat's army is pretty much back up to full strength, and there's no army nearby. So, yeah, let's go and take it. There we go. Pretty easy fights. We'll go ahead and sack it first. And then let's see if we can oh, we're just out of range. Never mind, we'll just attack again in the following turn instead. Alright, more Mel. Let's get you to use the underway. And we'll move you... Let's actually move you right here. Just so you can support Babarat if needed. Alright, all of that is fine. We've now got 15,000 in the bank. Okay, you're done, you're done. Lord Skrolk. Can we now reach the Dust Gates? Oh, oh, we might actually be able to. Let's try. I can't tell there's a little bit of red behind that tree next to it or not. Oh, it's just slightly out of range. Oh, that's annoying. No matter, no matter. Right, let's have you... Can you assassinate anybody? Let's try and go after this guy, 55%. Let's see if he's successful this time. Failure again. Christ. You continue up to this way. I'll tell you what, actually. Let's have you search the ruins on your way. Just see if there's any new items. Here we are. So we need to find the one which is by itself. So let's have a look. That one has got 2 of them. This one has got 2. That has 2, so that one's by itself. There we go. Picked up the Banner of the Under Empire. Extra 5 melee attack. That's not too bad. Right. I think that's everybody moved now. So what do I want to do with my extra 15k? Well, something I did want to look at. If we go back to Oxel a moment. Yes, we can upgrade the Pestilent Knave. And finally to an Abbey. So not only is this going to unlock new technology, but it gives us 2 new units. Sensor Bearers and a unit I've never seen before, because it's from a mod that we're using. I think it's from the, was it the Laboratory of the Babonicus, or whatever this thing is? Plague Laboratory. So, I have no idea what they're supposed to be like. Apparently they're anti-large, if I hover over them a sec. Anti-large, poison attacks, and they do have missiles. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see what that's like. So I'll make sure to grab that. Let's have a look. Anything else we kind of want to get our hands on? We could go for arcane generators, but to be honest, we haven't really got much coming in from here. So, in fact, let's have a quick look. Wrong one. This is actually the wealthiest settlement, with the southern spine not too far behind, to be fair. Okay. Maybe it is worth then getting our hands on some generators. I mean, it's 2,700, but it should be fine. It's right. Let's get our hands on a rubbish pit, just to help out a bit with extra income. We could go for the emerald pools this time, but No, I think we'll be okay. Right. That's going to lose Quetzal now. I've done it, haven't I? I can't never tell. I miss the old mod we used to have, which made it so much easier. Click to abandon the settlement. Right. Let's assume I have done that. If not, we're going to find out in a minute. Alright, let's get some defenses then for Itza, and then we'll save the money. Alright, bubble rats. You know what? It has actually occurred to me. Originally, I wanted to give bubble rats the Bonebreaker mount, but in the end, I think the Brood Horror is much more fitter, especially as you read it there. Offers the most bloated pox rats as mounts. For Bubble Rat the Pox Templar, I think that is a good choice. Alright, let's get that for the extra casualty replenishment. It is going to be replenishing like crazy from now on. Alright. Next, Slice In. I think now he has actually got all of his magic. Yeah. So what do we want to go for now? We could focus on his combat abilities. I'll tell you what, let's go for scouting. Just because I would like to try and get our hands on some more magical items at some point. Unlock is also leveled up. Let's give you the final point in Fleetfoot. We've got imminent rebellion about to happen here. If it happens, it happens. I'll just send back one of my armies here to deal with it. And then we can let them continue on their attack. It would be useful if we can spot what's happening over here. We'll have to wait and see better. In the meantime, let's have a quick look at our diplomacy. Is there anybody we can negotiate with? Apparently, wait, two things actually. Firstly, my reliability is very low. Yet we haven't done anything wrong. We've had Locke here betray us, but that shouldn't reduce my reliability if my ally betrays me, right? But the second thing I've noticed, we've got an option to join in confederation with Queek. That is very tempting. In fact, that is really tempting. Tell you what, let me just check. No, Clan Squire aren't up for it. Oh, that is so really tempting. Because Queek, don't forget, is one of the most powerful factions now in the game. In fact, if I go back on here a minute, yeah, he's level 8, right? He has a whole bunch of territory, which admittedly we would then have to protect. And we'll have to go through the armies, make sure that they're all tidy, and, you know. The only issue, though, if we did join him in Confederation, is that he's currently at war with the Dragon Lords. Now, we haven't had to fight Imric for quite some time because they've just been focusing on whatever he's been doing over here. But if we confederate with them, then we're going to have to start dealing with Imric. And to be honest, I don't know if I'm really worth doing so. But they also got a whole bunch of territories. They've got 11 settlements. That's going to be a ton of money coming in to help us. You know what? I'm going to leave it up to you guys. So we've done all of this. So what I'm going to do now is basically end our turn. Right. And you guys can tell me in the comments for the next episode, should we confederate with oh god, why have I forgot their names? Moors, thank you, game. So yeah, should we confederate with Clan Moors, or should we just leave them to their own devices and keep them as a trade partner? Because we've got plenty of other stuff we're going to be doing at the moment, including a new army coming into attack. Good to know. But yeah, we've got our own things happening on this side of the ocean, but it's something I could consider, you know? So let me know what you think, guys. Okay then, so all we need to do is just pop through all of these. So many. Right, let me see about taking the Dust Gate before I end today. Perfect. Goodbye. We shall take that. There's no point looting it, so we're just going to go ahead. I'll bring it up to tier 3 straight away. Now and then we can make sure we can upgrade it completely with defenses and everything else. And yeah, we shall leave it here for today. So next episode, we're going to continue our conquest of Lockhear's lands. We've got an army right here. But given that she's only level 8, I don't think the army itself is going to be that experienced. And we also got another army over here now. Oh, excuse me. Lokos. Oh, hello. Why did I not see you? Right, so Locke here has now brought an army back here too. Right. It might be worth just popping back up in order to take him. Although saying that, depending on what he's got available, we might be able to let him lay siege, and then that should give us time then to actually make our way up to attack him. But we'll sort that out next episode. So for now though guys, thank you very much for watching, hope you enjoyed, and you do join me next time of course for some more Warhammer. But until then everybody, take care, stay safe, and goodbye for now.